Thank you very much, Letitia, for that introduction. A round of applause for Letitia on HereAfter. She's an absolutely wonderful woman doing big things in this space. So like she said, yesterday was day one. Today, we'll be taking the conversation further, and we will get some great insider knowledge and some great experience from people who do a lot of these things in structured working environments, with companies, with entities, with some of the biggest firms you can imagine. And so that's what we'll be doing today. We'll have a panel discussion. We'll pick their brains on a number of issues, a number of topics, a number of things. And by the time we are done, we'll invite comments, questions especially, and we want loads of them from the CSOs, the NGOs that are here, because it's important to understand how you can plug into what corporate entities are doing on their plate. In addition to all the things they do, provide service and all of that, they also do things to help society, and that's what a lot of the entities gathered here also do. So it's important that we have a good relationship with them. You create that relationship so we don't work in silos. Working in silos will not lead us anywhere. We can achieve more if we come together, lock hands, lock resources, and work together and achieve the big things we want to achieve to ensure that society is far better off than it is now. So that's what our panel discussion will focus on today. So I hope we are all ready. I hope we pay attention, take note, so that we can ask the questions that can unlock the layers of knowledge that hitherto would have been hidden or we wouldn't have thought of as we put our work together and put our plans together to do some great work in the area of partnerships and social responsibility and societal development. But before we get into all of that, it is my honor to invite Nuhu Halima. Nuhu Halima is with HereAfter Ghana, and she'll share some thoughts, which is an NGO. She'll share some thoughts on how she collaborates with CSOs, and that I think will lay the groundwork on which we will build our panel discussion, and then we add the superstructure, or the roof, which will be the questions, takeaways, notes, and all of these wonderful things. So if you are ready, a round of applause for all of us who are gathered here. And another round of applause for Nuhu Halima, who will be giving us a great introduction. A round of applause for Nuhu Halima as she comes around.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Nuhu Halima Tisadia. I'm the founder and then director of HereAfter Ghana, an organization that runs purely volunteer-based and then works basically mobilizing local resources to support the work that we do. So I'll be taking us through our journey, our 10-year journey of how we managed to mobilize over $120,000 worth of cash and resources and work with over 500 volunteers, having about 1,500 monthly donors, and how volunteerism and crowdfunding has actually changed. All right. And how crowdfunding has actually impacted the work that we do in volunteerism. So once again, my name is Nuhu Halima Tisadia, the founder and director of HereAfter Ghana. Okay, so what's crowdfunding in the first place? Crowdfunding has actually become a very powerful tool to turn the dreams of NGOs, startups, entrepreneurs all around, if only you are very strategic about it and know where to seek your funding from. Crowdfunding is the practice of raising small amounts of money from a large group of people. In 10 years ago, a 19-year-old, that's me, had a dream of changing the world where she lived. For a girl who grew up in Anumanje, I had never heard of anything grants. However, I had heard of loans, banks, and I've also heard of collection at the mosque, collection in schools, collection at the church. Why do we do crowdfunding? Is this really the next slide? So let me take us back here. The story is not complete. So I heard of collections, and then I wanted to make the change that I need. With a strong will that I had, but then with no resources, the first point, funding, was crowdfunding for me. Why did I go in for crowdfunding, and why is crowdfunding and volunteerism very important for us now? We all know there's a dwindling donor funding. We've all realized the strong potential of local resource mobilization and volunteerism. I'll be reading through this because yesterday a lot was said around this so that we don't waste a lot of time. We have a traditional habit. As a people, we have a traditional habit of giving and volunteering. How do we channel this into the development and the change that we seek for? We have volunteerism creating a high sense of ownership in what we do. When you find yourself involved in something, you cherish it and you own it more than something that's been given to you on a silver platter. Volunteerism and crowdfunding creates a very big, diversified resource for organizations and startups. Innovative ideas with less resources, which is everywhere in Ghana. In Ghana, every youth has a dream. All of us here have a dream. It's not achieved because we don't have the resources at hand. But with crowdfunding and volunteerism, it could create a very big avenue for you to achieve your dreams. So I'll be telling you the story of our organization, and I'll be picking up the strategies, our challenges, and how we navigated them. First of all, you have to mobilize people. It is people that volunteer. It is people that give. So if you want to build on volunteerism and then crowdfunding to make a change, you first have to know how to mobilize people. Your family and your friends. They are the first point of contact. And they are the best people to give you the trust that you need before you move to the outside world. I remember our first donation. We were graduating from senior high school. So we thought that the resources that we're going to waste, we're going to throw it away. So as friends, we came together and we decided we are going to take a sack and go around all dormitories and ask our friends, if you have a tin of Milo you don't want, after graduation, I know you leave it here. You will not take the bed bags to the house. Give it to us. We took soaps, we took needle, we took everything. And you'll be marveled at the amount of resources we collected from our friends. The first donation, we did it at the Kumase orphanage. Then, the second donation. The second donation came from the pockets of my mother, my father, and my sisters. My father gave me a bag of rice. My mother bought the takeaway bowls and did all the cooking. My sisters paid for the transport. And we had our second donation. Then, maximizing the resources that are given to you. You have your mother giving you the rice. You have your father giving your father giving you the rice. You have your mother giving you the bowls. You have your sisters paying the transport. It's up to you to tell a compelling story about the resources that you have at hand. So you project your story in a way that you get other people on board. Then we move to digital tools. Today we have digital tools all over us. And they are the easiest and the most affordable way of selling the work that you do. End-to-end text, very, very recommendable in crowdfunding, where you talk to the person one-on-one, your idea, and you see the person giving you, if not everything you asked for, at least something to start. You have viral medias like Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, also facilitating the spread of the work that you do. How many of us are taking very good advantage of that? Then you have fundraising platforms like YenSomuBi, Global Giving, GoFundMe, PayPal. They are specifically made for fundraising. How many of us are taking advantage of this to fund the volunteerism we were talking about yesterday? When I get to the aspect of volunteerism, I'll bring on my debate what I didn't talk about yesterday regarding volunteerism. I'll pause here and speak a little about YenSomuBi. YenSomuBi is a local platform, and I'm speaking about it because it's the easiest to reach to us all here if we want to start something around crowdfunding. It's a local platform, but then diaspora donors can donate as well. In December last year, we were able to raise an amount of money that supported us to register 100 children onto the National Health Insurance Scheme using this platform. I want to tell you that it works, and you can do it with them. It's very easy to register and has a local and familiar fundraising channels like a short code, a Momo code, and very easy way to donate. It has a readily available audience and a bigger audience if all of us here register. You can easily just register by going to www.yensomubi.org and register your organization, start a fundraiser, and read something for the work you do. A very supportive team that will help you with flyers to sell your story. Transparency, as you can track your money, where it is, where it's going, and how much you've raised. Readily available funds to withdraw, because anytime you are ready, you just have to hit the withdraw button and your money is in your hands to work with. Unlike YenSomuBi, unlike Global Giving and Paystack, who pay either in the middle of the month or at the end of the month. Mobilizing donors. How do you mobilize donors? I first mentioned that you should mobilize people, but I didn't tell you the how. First, you have to know who you need on board. Already existing donors, you know them, you know more about them, so you know who you are going to. But then if you are looking for new donors, first of all, you have to know your goal. What is it that you are looking for? Money, volunteers, in-kind resources. Who has that thing that you are looking for? So now you know what you need. Then I know that when I go to our honorable representative of our honorable minister here, he can give me the cash. Then when I come to this madam here, she can give me the cement. When I go, she's ready to give me her car and even buy the fuel in it. I have to know what I need and who I need it from. Then what exactly do you need from the person? I'm using exactly. You don't go asking vague asks. So you go and say, okay, I'm doing this and I need your support. What support do you need? You have to be specific. Then before you even go and do all those talking, you have to first know what drives your donor. What is the motivation of the person you are talking to? For somebody who is very interested, let's say, okay, let me use Telecel as an example. Telecel supports health cases. Their CSR supports health cases. They do some bits of education, but I don't see them do something around women empowerment. So if you go to Telecel to pitch about women empowerment, you are at the wrong place, because that is not what their CSR targets. So you have to know the motivation of the person you are trying to seek the support from, and what is their keyword. I say, what is their keyword? You have to know the keyword of your donor in order to move your donor to give or to volunteer with you. Donor communication. I'll skip this for time's sake, and starting a successful crowdfunding. The key to success lies in planning. Realistic goal setting. Realistic goal setting. You have to be real with yourself before you disappoint yourself. Sometimes clearly see that this is not possible, but you believe you can make it. I know we have to aim high, but there's the reality. So you set realistic goals, then you master the act of storytelling. Here, you carry your donor with you. If you get someone to donate 100 cedis to your work today, if you to tell them a very good story about what the 100 cedis did, tomorrow the person will give you 1,000 cedis. And I have numerous testimonies on that. You have to dedicate time and effort. You can't sleep and get the work you want to do done. You have to dedicate time and resources. And yesterday, I was very happy when I heard the panelists mention trust. Trust is very, very important, and it has gotten us the biggest of referrals. I can just be there and I'll get a call. Alima, please, somebody wants to donate. Do you have somebody to give it to? So we have become, the people have the belief, they have the strong habit of giving, they have the strong habit of volunteerism, but they need a trusted channel, somebody, a trusted mediator to make sure that what they want to achieve is done. And how do you and your organization and the work you do become that trusted mediator for them? At HereAfter Ghana, volunteerism has been a great tool in advancing the development that we seek. We started wholly as a volunteer organization to partially getting some of our volunteers employed and paid stipends. Then now we have an annual volunteer program. From discussions yesterday, I have picked up my notes on how to make the annual volunteer program more impactful. It has become a very rich resource of getting everything that we need, but you need strategic direction to make the best of volunteerism and crowdfunding. So working with volunteers, yesterday a lot of questions came up about volunteers asking for money, volunteers asking for resources. What do you think about that? This is what I think about it. First of all, you have to provide volunteers with options. You don't tell them to come and give you the whole day. Even you yourself in the work, you don't have the whole day for the work. So don't push volunteers to their limit. Give them options of the full-time or the part-time they can work with. Set schedules to make their schedules. Make it very flexible to do volunteer at your end. If it is 2 hours the person has, make sure you make good use of the 2 hours the person is giving you. Don't tell the person to give you 10 hours or sack the person because the person said he had 2 hours. You kill the spirit of volunteerism for the people, especially if you don't pay them, because they have to do other things to pay themselves. You have to provide the resources to make the work go on. The person has come, the person has time. So as we mentioned yesterday, volunteerism comes in different ways. You get people to give money. You get people to give their time. You get people to give you the resources. So if somebody comes to you and give you the time, please make sure you give them the resource. The person told you he had time. He didn't say he had resources. You understand? The person is giving you the time. So give the person the resource, and that is not paying the person. You are only facilitating the process to make sure that the work you want to get done or the change you want to see happens. So at HereAfter Ghana, we don't pay our volunteers. However, make sure when you are stepping out, you get your transport. At least there's food. Transport and food should always be available for volunteers. They are only asking for that and not more. Provide incentives. Acknowledging the volunteer of the year, praising them in front of their colleagues, making them the leader because they did the best on the previous job. Just something to motivate them to keep on doing what they are doing and put in more efforts. Comprehensive training. If you want the best out of the person, you have to give them the training they require. Skills building opportunities where they step out to learn more outside the boundaries you've created. Emotional and psychological support. Some volunteers are actually coming to work because they are running from something from the house. And please don't add to their burden. Make sure you provide them with a very feasible and workable environment where they find peace when they step out. Feedback channels to make sure you get the best out of the work you are doing. So in conclusion, I'll say crowdfunding and volunteerism is more than just a fundraising tool. It is a movement that connects people, ideas, and resources. It harnesses the power of collective to fuel innovation and make dreams possible and drive the change and civil action that we all seek. Whether you are looking to launch the next big tech innovation or support a local cause close to your heart, crowdfunding and volunteerism provides the platform for that. And platforms like YenSomuBi makes it easier to do that. The beauty of crowdfunding and volunteerism is that it empowers everyone to be part of the solution, whether as a creator seeking support or as a backer helping you provide the support that you need. So if you have an idea, a vision, a cause you believe in, why not give it a shot? The world is waiting to support you, and I am here for you always. Thank you.